Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. Bournemouth 0 and Liverpool 4, and it's a very windy UK this Sunday, and pardon the pun, but Liverpool have blown away Bournemouth today, especially in the second half. It's 0-0. They've got no Mo Salah, they've got no Szoboszlai, they've got people out, and they've absolutely destroyed a Bournemouth side that I actually thought would put up more. I just felt that Bournemouth were very, very flat. You could say the same about Palace at the Emirates yesterday, but for the home team, who've been much improved this season, Bournemouth, especially in recent weeks, I thought they were absolutely average, and Liverpool dealt with them very, very, very well. First of all, you've got to give a big shout out to Konate and Van Dijk, who just kept Solanke very, very quiet. In fact, Bournemouth's best chances came from other players when the game was over, really, in the last few minutes. They probably should have got a goal. But look, that was a potential banana skin for Liverpool, absolutely no doubt. And to go and win their 4-0 away from home from 0-0 at half-time is an incredible result. And you've got to look at that league table and go, all they can do is what they're doing. I look at Liverpool and I go, Man City are still the favourites. There's no two ways about that. They've been there before. They've got the squad. They've got the know-how. They've got the experience. But let's not forget, Jurgen Klopp has won the title before with Liverpool. Some of those players at Liverpool have won it before. And you got the sense that, having seen Liverpool a few times this season, Luton away specifically comes to mind. They had chances at 0-0. They didn't take them. Luton got that brilliant breakaway, and they have to score a late equaliser. And respect to Luton, they got a point and they deserved it. But Liverpool will know they've dropped 3 points there. Well, 2, because they drew. Klopp, I guaranteed at half-time, said, this ain't good enough. We're drifting through this game. We are on top, but we can't afford to draw. You've got to go out there from minute 1 of the second half, up the tempo, move higher up the pitch, commit people forward, and utilise the ball better in the final third. You saw 2 fantastically clinical finishes from Jota. Darwin Núñez with the first goal was a very good finish. And they've ended up winning 4-0. And I think that's the experience of Klopp. And Arteta won't have that because he's not been down that road. He doesn't know that. And he doesn't know how to put it into play. But Jurgen Klopp does. He will know that if we draw today, then Man City win. They've got that game in hand. They're level with us. And they'll feel like they're in front. We've got to maintain that gap on them for as long as possible. And the amazing thing for me about Liverpool is, I know I spoke about this the other day, about the Spurs injustice. And I mean, look, again, I know it doesn't matter because they've won 4-0, but we should still mention that Kluivert should have been sent off. Like, Curtis Jones got sent off in that Spurs game when they had the onside goal given against them. The onside goal not being given was an absolute sham, but we're now starting to see that the Curtis Jones red card was probably a sham because the referees have decided they're not going to give red cards for that anymore. So, look, Liverpool will look at that Spurs game. The Luton game was 2 points dropped. Arsenal at home was 2 points dropped. They should have had a penalty. Look, even as a United fan, we were over the moon with that point, but Liverpool will think probably could have won that. But I think reasonably, Liverpool could expect another 4 points from where they are. And they're still top by 5 tonight. So they are where they deserve to be. The question is, can this Liverpool side maintain this? And I think their best chance is going to be their manager. Of course they need Mo Salah back as quick as possible, but they're going to have to go to Arsenal without him, and that's going to be a very, very difficult game at the Emirates. And that's certainly a game that Pep Guardiola is going to look at and go, that's going to be our chance, because Man City have got some very winnable games coming. I look at that league table and I just wonder how long it's going to be before it becomes a two-horse race again. That's why I think it's so important that Arsenal beat Palace. I really hope that Villa can maintain their form as well. And maybe Spurs can get amongst it, because I think if Man City are going to be stopped, and I'd still say they're firm favourites, the more teams in the mix, the better. But you do start to feel that Man City's second half experience is going to come to the fore. And Liverpool, with Klopp and certain players, are going to start moving up. But that's a Liverpool side today without Trent, without Robinson, without Szoboszlai, without Endo, and without Salah. And they did look like they could be got at. And look, they've still got some very good players. But correct me if I'm wrong, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Alexi McAllister, Gakpo, Diaz, Jota and Núñez are not experienced Premier League title chasing players for Liverpool. And you've got Van Dijk there, and neither's Konate, I don't think. So realistically, on that pitch, in a difficult away game, yeah, you've got Jurgen Klopp, you've got Van Dijk, you've got Alisson, but the front six, they don't have experience of how important these games are. And to go and do that it's like throwing the dice in a risky situation, isn't it? If you don't get the result, you go, yeah, we can't rely on these players, they're not used to it yet. But if you get a result like that, you go, well, if these players are performing and they don't really know what a title race is about, this bodes really, really well for Liverpool. And I think the one thing that Liverpool have got that Arsenal don't have is, yes, they've got some players that have won a title and they've got a manager that knows how to do it. But they've also got a hell of a lot of squad depth. You can take Diaz off and you can bring Gakpo on. Gravenberch was on the bench today as well. They've still got the likes of Endo and Szoboszlai to come back. I think Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott are worth their weight in gold. I mean, I think Alexis Mac Allister's been a fantastic signing. A lot of people disagree with me on that, but I think he's so understated, he's so underrated. But I also think Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott playing today, starting today in a difficult away game, they're developing. They are developing. I look at Man United and I look at people like, I don't know, Scott McTominay, Jesse Lingard, youth players that, oh yeah, but you know, I look at Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones and I think there's a difference in those players that are coming through for Liverpool. They're growing gradually in a team that's allowing them to grow and come in and out. And it's just given Klopp so many options in a midfield that last season didn't have it. It was a dying midfield last year with Fabinho and Thiago and Henderson. And now, as I've said before, he's got 6, 7, 8 combinations of midfielders that he can put out there. And that's very impressive. Bournemouth are not a bad side. They were a bit sleepy today, the same as Palace were yesterday, but you've still got to dispatch them. And Arsenal have beaten Palace 5-0. Liverpool have beaten Bournemouth 4-0. And it does send a message to Manchester City that they're not going to get it all their own way. And that's a good thing for the league. You know, it is. It makes it more competitive. So, yeah, Liverpool were good today. I can't deny that. Jota's finishing was remarkable. He was man of the match for me. I think he's a very steady player, Jota. I think he's a very subtle player. I think he contributes consistently, quietly, if that makes sense. He's just there with an assist and a goal. And yeah, he was very, very good for them today. And Darwin Núñez with 2 goals as well. I mean, look, how many times have I sat here and said, I like Darwin Núñez. I know he plays for Liverpool, but I really like him. Some people think he's a flop. Some people ridicule him. He will miss chances again, but he has got the capability to go and score 2 goals in an important game. And his creative impact, as we know this season, has been very, very good. So, look, Klopp will be absolutely ecstatic with that, as I'm sure many Liverpool fans will be, to go and win that way without Trent, without Salah, etc. It does send a strong statement when you are top of the league. So they were very, very good today, and the title race is still very much alive at the moment. I just wonder how long it's going to be a 4-horse race. I suspect it could become Liverpool-Man City quite soon, but Arsenal are still in it, Villa are still in it, and Spurs will feel that they're still in it. Get your comments in below, smash a like on the video. I'll speak to you on the next one.